Hello, Grace. How are
Hi,
you?
Pablo.
Very good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, finally.
Finally, yeah, in person, kind of.
Yeah.
So, first of all,
Yeah.
how are you? How was your week in Nairobi? How are things there?
Well, things are, well, pretty bad for business, though health-wise, we're trying to survive. We're staying
Okay,
safe.
sure.
Yeah. So we've not been hit quite hard as Spain. You in Spain,
Right.
right? Yeah, yeah. So, but we're trying to take all the measures we can to be safe and not to have things escalating.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I hope it stays like that.
Yeah.
So, tell us a bit about yourself because you have quite a unique story, especially how you got into the bike world. Because I believe it was through a trip into the Himalayas. And also, you're a special person in Africa because if I'm not wrong, you're the first and only enduro racer in the continent. So,
Um,
is that right?
okay, I'll talk about it. So, first of all, I've only been riding for about 6 years.
Okay.
And as you mentioned, my first ride was in the Himalayas. I was lucky enough to have friends who knew how to ride and they trained me and prepared me into the process of doing the trip.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I got hooked to motorbikes and got to travel to different countries and different continents on motorbikes.
Uh-huh.
And yes, in Kenya, I'm one of the few ladies who's doing the enduro races.
Uh-huh.
However, there are also other ladies who are riding enduro.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, we've had the first African female rider in the Dakar from South Africa. So I'm not the only one, though. In Kenya, I'm the only one doing the enduro races at the
Oh,
moment.
in Kenya then. Okay. Because
Yes,
I
yeah.
watched a few interviews in the CNN and then I was watching before one that you had in the Kenyan TV and you were talking about this enduro racing and I thought I heard that you were one of the only women enduro racers in Africa, but it must have been in Kenya and you said that.
Yeah.
Anyway, you seem quite an important figure in Kenya, I guess, when it comes to motorcycle. You also teach women how to ride, to move independently in the country, which is quite a nice social work. So tell us a bit also, because you have a company in Kenya with Adam, who unfortunately is not here with us today. And how long have you been in business? How you come up with the idea of opening a business like that in Kenya?
Well, so it all started as team coming together. So
Uh-huh.
there's the three of us, Adam, myself, and our investor, whose name is Mike. And
Mm-hmm.
it all started as just an idea. We used to travel around the country together for fun, invite friends over, and we thought, wow, this would be a very nice way of showing people East Africa because, you know, when you go out there and see things and experience the culture, the wildlife, beautiful sceneries that other people have never seen, and we felt the need to share this with other people, as well as incorporating it with cultural activities, some CSR programs, and all this. So out of all these, we sat down and decided to start Offroad Adventure East Africa,
Okay.
which is now an off-road motorcycle touring company.
Uh-huh.
We started with off-road bikes
Right.
and recently moved to also doing tours with adventure bikes.
Okay, so both mixing on-road and off-road
Yes.
trips. Okay.
Yeah.
And how long has been the company around? And also I want to ask you, the name of the company was Rhino Riders before. Is there a reason for the change or just you just decided to change the
Mhm.
name?
Yeah, so when we were starting, things happened quite fast, and we registered the company as Rhino Motorcycles Riders Limited.
Okay.
But to be able to resonate with the people, for people to understand what we were doing, we changed the trade name to Off-Road Adventure East Africa.
Okay. And is it called Off-Road Adventure East Africa, not Off-Road Adventure Kenya, because you visit more than one country, or you visit like East Africa in general, like including, I don't know, Tanzania or other countries?
So we are based in Kenya, in Nairobi. But we do have tours that are cross-border tours. For example, a trip that we have from Nairobi all the way to Tanzania and back to Kenya through the coast, or a trip from Kenya, from Western Kenya into Uganda and back to Kenya. So we just go all around East Africa and even the Omo Valley in Ethiopia.
Nice. And I see on your website and Instagram and different social media that you have a beautiful house there. Is this the only location you guys have, or do you have more than one location for the company?
At the moment, we only have one location, which is in Nairobi.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And everything's based in that house that I see in the social media, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Is this where your customers arrive and where they stay in the like first day, let's say?
Yeah. So normally when the customers arrive, we pick them from the airport. And we take them to a hotel in Nairobi, just near our office. Okay. It's near one of the residential areas, which are really nice and quiet. Okay. And it's easy for them from the hotel to come to the office where they can get to, meet their. Sorry, I lost you there. Can you still hear me?
No, I'm here. I can hear you.
Yeah. Sorry. So from the hotel is just close to the office where the riders can easily come check their bikes, okay. And when they arrive, we usually make sure that we change all the settings of the bike according to the rider's weight, height, and everything that will make their ride comfortable. So that's where they come, and that's where we start the tours from.
Nice. So tell us a bit more about the tours that you do, because I see like amazing scenery. You guys do safaris on a motorbike, which is not a very common thing. Let's say when you imagine a safari, it's always like a Land Rover with an open rooftop, a lot of people sitting in the back. But you guys have a very special and a unique way of doing it. So tell us more a bit the tours that you offer, the structure of the tours, like where do you stay?
Yeah, so for the tours, well, we have different tours. I hope I got you right. We have different tours starting with places like the Masai Mara, which are done on the jeeps, as you mentioned. Yeah. So, and getting there on the jeep, you miss a big part of the country that is quite beautiful and is less traveled. There's lots of things to see there. And for something different, motorcycles would be able to get you to these areas where you go and meet, like seeing the real country, the beautiful scenery, and at the same time, wildlife. It's not usual to ride amongst wildlife, Yeah. However, we make sure that we ride in places where you don't meet the dangerous wildlife, because you cannot ride inside the national parks in Kenya. Okay. However, on the outside, you meet the wildebeest, the zebras, the antelope, sometimes elephants. But before we go to these kind of areas, we do a proper briefing on how to react whenever you see different kind of animals. Right. Yes, and apart from this, the nights in these off-the-grid areas are really interesting, because they're those kind of nights where you get to stay at a nice, comfortable camp, like a tent camp. Okay. And you get to spend the evenings, like having, the Maasai people make really good barbecue. And you can spend the evenings having some really good barbecue, some beers around the fire with the Maasai warriors. Nice. So this is a typical kind of an evening. And from there, you get to continue to the destination of Masai Mara, where now you stay probably in a luxury camp. Okay. And from there, you can get into the national park in a jeep on your rest day. So
Okay.
it's usually a mixture of, the riding, interacting with the locals, and then once you get to the destination, there's rest with activities such as the game drives and such.
Okay, so it sounds like you do a lot of support on the local community. And also, I was going to ask you, is it always that you camp, or you also stay in hotels?
We mostly stay
especially when
in.
you go outside of the national parks and stuff. I don't know if you do any other tours outside of national parks.
Yeah, so we try to stay in hotels, in nice, well, it's not kind of hotels, it's more like tented camps. So it's a comfortable bed, nice food, there's showers and toilets.
Okay.
So we try to have the riders stay here because, after 8 days, 6 or 8 hours of riding in the dust and, off-road, you need a comfortable bed in the evening.
Right.
So we try to do this as much as possible, except some places where there are no hotels at all, and we're forced to make our own campsites.
Okay.
So we bring a mobile camp and mobile toilets, mobile bathroom, mobile kitchen, everything.
So I guess you bring that on your chase vehicle that I hear you have, yeah?
Yeah, so we have a support vehicle too, a Land Cruiser for the smaller tours. And we've also recently added an overland truck, which is made Dakar style to be able to go in off-road terrains, and has a kitchen in it and a workshop and space for the bike, space for luggage, space for camp items and everything. So it's an all-in-one truck.
Okay. And how is the reaction from your customers when they interact with the Maasai culture? Because it's quite an amazing culture. It's quite a unique culture.
Yeah. So, well, it's not, mostly it's normal for people to have culture shock. Yeah, but there are those who've traveled to Kenya or other parts of East Africa more frequently. So for this kind of people, it's easy to immerse with the local communities. But there are those who are visiting for the first time, and we usually brief them in advance of at least what to expect, so that the culture shock is not that too much for them to handle. But then by the time we get there with the locals, if you've never had, Kenya has some of the most friendliest people in East Africa or Africa. Yeah, so it's quite easy for them to get along.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
I hear my father-in-law has a big connection in Kenya. He works in Kenya a lot, and he tells me how amazing people are there. So I believe him.
Yeah. They smile all the time, like I am.
Yeah, that's good. I definitely want to visit you one day. Maybe I can join him in one of his trips and then leave him alone and escape with you guys.
Yeah, sure.
Tell me more about the bikes that you offer. Is it only KTM? Because I see that you guys have a lot of KTM. So do you have more than one brand in the fleet? And also, how many bikes do you have in total?
So we're only using KTMs. Yeah, and the reason we made this decision was, first, the quality of the bike. It's made for the kind of terrains we'd go to.
That's right.
And also, the service available in the country. Yeah, though having Adam as one of us comes in handy, because he used to work as the manager of KTM Kenya, which served the entire East Africa, so he has a lot of knowledge with it. And so for the KTM 450s, we have 13 of them for the off-road tours, 6 790s for the dual sport tours.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And when is the best time to visit you? Is there a best time to go? Rainy season, dry season? What is the best time?
So we usually have the long rains in April and May. So these are the times that we do not advise to have the out of Nairobi tours. Though, the day tours we can do whenever the skies are clear, but the rains are quite heavy in April and May. and we have the short trains in November. Otherwise, the rest of the time, it's advisable to visit Kenya.
Okay.
And then we have most people coming during the wild beast migration, which happens between July and September, when the wild beasts are moving from Serengeti across the Mara River into Kenya, which is quite dramatic. Though this is more like the high season in Kenya, so tours like these are usually booked like way in advance, 6 months in advance, because the hotels are fully booked and all this. But it's really nice when the rides, for example, a ride to the Masai Mara starts from Nairobi and you end your trip with a game drive, and you can experience the dramatic crossing on the Mara River. You know, it's like crocodile infested and these wildebeest crossing. It's quite interesting to see.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And one thing I didn't ask you about the tours, you have on your website, you have long tours, short tours, and then obviously tours that are made up to the desire of the customer. But tell us more the difference in between the short one and the long ones.
So the short ones are basically designed for people, for example, people who are living in Nairobi.
Okay.
And they have a weekend free, you know, like a Friday to Sunday or just a day free. So we usually cater for these. We also have, you know, Nairobi being, or Kenya being a hub for East Africa, it's quite diverse, and we have very many people coming in with a day off their work, and we usually give them this option for the day trip or a weekend trip.
Okay.
And then also for the locals who probably have been riding on the road and now want to move to off-road riding. And before you buy your own bike, you want to try a trip on a different bike. So we usually, we give them this opportunity to come and feel what off-road riding is like. Also give some training during the day tour, and one can decide whether to buy an off-road bike or not, or keep on riding with us.
Sorry.
Yes. So, and then for the, we also have now the standard tours, which are like the Masai Mara tour, the Amboseli National Park, which is home to the giant elephants and spectacular views of Mount Kilimanjaro across the border. And then, so we have a few standard tours within Kenya. Then for the customized tours, you get these requests from people who probably coming back for a second or third time to Kenya. And they've already been to one of our standard tours and they want to try something else or have a mixture. Some are families who, for example, half the family and friends are riders, and they want non-riders. So we usually incorporate the two groups together so that you're able to bring your family and friends who do not ride.
Nice.
And these are also the kinds of trips that you find we start from Kenya into Tanzania, back to Kenya, or to Uganda, or to Ethiopia. So it depends. And we like people to involve their non-riding friends and family, so that's why we do this.
Okay. And when you were mentioning the short tours that are more like directed to local people that maybe are thinking about getting a new bike. I hear that you also guys have a riding school, and you have a very like special teacher, a top German rider, right?
Yes. So we've previously been working with a German teacher whose name is Jürgen, though at the moment he's back in German.
Okay.
So these classes would resume when he's back.
Okay.
And at the moment we have myself and Adam doing the basic trainings here.
Okay, so is this only for locals, or could I go there and also train with you guys?
You could also come and train with us from somewhere else, yes. Yeah. And actually, even before the tours, we usually do this training, a short training, because whenever someone comes to ride, you know, you may think that you're a good rider and you believe in yourself, but when you come, it's a totally different terrain from what you're used to.
Right.
And so we do a short training just to get you used to the kind of terrain here.
That's right.
And what to expect, what reactions, riding on the correct side of the road, because we will not only use the single trails, we will also sometimes be on public roads. Yes, they may be off-road, but they're also public to the community living there.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Grace, let me ask you, if the motorcycle community or if the Ridetitude community could do anything to help you guys, all tour operators around the world, what do you think they could do to help you?
Yep. For all the riders, I would say don't be afraid to come to Kenya when it's possible. We'll still be here waiting for everyone and help you have the best fun as you can in East Africa. And for the tour operators out there, we look forward to making healthy partnerships with you. We're dynamic to, we can make arrangements that fit your clientele. For example, if your friends in Spain, they're a tour operator and they want to bring riders to Kenya, then we can always make an arrangement of how that can happen. And they will get to be the tour leader of their group.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. And Grace, also tell me, what plans do you have to make off-road adventure East Africa stronger than before all these crises around the world?
Wow. So first, we've made quite a number of changes. Of course, some related to health, like it's being done all over the world. And second, we've also, our in-house garage, we've opened it to as commercial, so that people who out there do not have access to good garages, they can use our garages. We've had experience through our own fleet. And Adam is quite good with the bikes, so people can bring their bikes to the garage. And this is something we're also doing at least to survive during this period where tourism is quite hard in Kenya.
That's right.
Yeah, and also we're going to tap into the domestic market, which we were doing, which was quite a small percentage that was riding with us from the domestic market, but we intend to encourage it more.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Grace, now I'm going to give you 1 minute to mention anything that you believe you haven't done, okay? So tell your customers, your past, current, and future customers why they should come to you, why they should come to Kenya and ride off-road with you guys.
Yeah. So our tours are usually all-inclusive. Like, all you need to bring is yourself and your positive energy. Because on the tours, we offer the bike with fuel. We offer guides, which is myself and Adam at the moment. We're still young, so it's just the two of us at the moment. One acts as a lead and the other as a sweep, depending on the skills of the group. Then we offer the support vehicle, which will bring the mechanical support and also for the luggage. And if you have your family and friends who are non-riders, we also bring in a vehicle where they can ride on. So we normally meet in the same destinations. Only the routes change a little bit depending, because it's the bikes and the vehicle, but they get to have the same fun. Yeah, and we provide the gear, evacuation cover. So the gear, I mean the full riding kit, the full off-road riding kit. We do provide these, and yeah, all you need is to come and ride, and we will take care of you. And we're all locals, born and raised in Kenya. Myself and Adam and Mike has been living in Kenya for 8 years. So we all have great knowledge of East Africa and good contacts with the local communities around. So we'll take good care of you.
That's good. Well, it definitely sounds promising, and I definitely want to visit you one day. Hopefully I can do it soon.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. So, Grace, we're now going to get into the fun part of the conversation, okay? We're going to make it all boring about questions about your company, okay? So I'm going to ask you a bunch of rapid-fire questions, and you have to answer me with the first thing that comes to your mind, okay? Some of them are going to be, let's say, kind of serious. Some of them are going to be silly, okay? It's just so people can get to know you a little better, okay?
Now I'm nervous.
So first one, actually, this is more of a personal question, but it's part of it, okay? Murcia or Nairobi?
Nairobi. Murcia to visit, but Nairobi.
Okay. Where is your favorite place to ride in the world?
Kenya.
Kenya, okay. KTM or Husqvarna?
KTM, obviously.
What's for dinner?
Steak.
Okay. What's your favorite thing to do in a tour when you're not riding?
Swim in the river.
Okay, sounds good. On a scale of 1 to 10, how cool are you?
I can't answer that.
You can say 11. Okay, well, what are 3 things you can't live without?
Motorbike.
Okay.
Food.
Okay.
The other one I can't say.
Okay. Okay. Out of the tours that you offer, which one is your favorite?
Loita Hills. Okay. It's in the South Rift of Kenya.
Why is that?
That's close to the south. Well, it's the southern border of Kenya to Tanzania. And there's the most spectacular views up there. Okay. Because you're like on top of the world.
Okay. Sounds
and down there is the view of the Lake Natron, and in Kenya there's the view of Lake Magadi. You could see the pink images of the flamingos in the Lake Natron, and it's an untouched forest.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, going to the next question. Who do you admire the most?
In terms of, sorry?
Any terms. You can be a motorcycle rider, I don't mind.
I don't mean to be full of myself, but well, myself, and I have role models like Michelle Obama. I love her mind.
One. Yes. That's a very good one.
Yeah.
What advice would you give young women who want to get into riding motorcycles but are a bit intimidated to start?
No, go for it.
Okay. That's what I tell my kids when I start the bike and they get scared.
Yeah, because you see, your fears are not their fears, and their fears are not your fears. Let them go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, mine are a bit young. They're only 3, but I'm trying to get them into motorcycling.
They are old enough to get into motorcycling.
Okay, now you have 2 options, okay? I'm going to give you 2 questions and you can answer one of them. Okay? Would you rather tell us a joke or sing us a song?
Tell a joke.
Go ahead.
I lost my sense of humor. Yeah, that was a joke, actually.
Okay, great. This is all from us. Thank you so much for taking part in this initiative. We really hope it helps you. We really hope it promotes your business and that you guys can come stronger than before. And I hope I can see you either in Murcia, Madrid, or Kenya one day.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, and thank you so much for organizing this. It's a very good way. I see so many people came into watchers. I've been seeing their comments. Thank you guys for joining us live. And thank you so much, Ridetitude, for this opportunity. And it's a great platform for motorcycle tour operators and also for riders themselves. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Grace. And there's a lot of people saying that you should sing a song as well.
I can't sing.
For the next interview, we'll keep it.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Grace. Make sure everyone to follow Offroad Adventure East Africa and book a tour with them. Okay.
Thank you.
Grace.
All right.
Bye.
Ciao. Bye.